They say every era has a silent killer. Ours didn't arrive with violence. It came quietly, soft, convenient, and beautifully packaged. Its name? The death of critical thinking. But to understand how it happened, you need to hear the story of Arin. Arin wasn't special. Not a genius, not a philosopher, just an ordinary young man living in an ordinary city. But he had one gift. He questioned things. Not in a rebellious way, just sincerely. Why is this true? Who benefits if I believe this? Where did this idea come from? It made people uncomfortable. Not because he was rude, but because questioning forces others to confront what they don't want to face. One day, Arin noticed something strange. People no longer disagreed. Not really. They just repeated. Repeated the headlines, repeated the trends, repeated the outrage they were told to feel. It was like the whole world had become a room full of echoing voices, loud, certain, emotionally charged, but hollow. So Arin did what he always did. He asked questions. Why is everyone angry about this? Did anyone check the source? What if the truth isn't what we're being told? People stared at him like he was the problem. Because when a society stops thinking, the thinker becomes the threat. Soon, Arin noticed something else. Everyone had access to infinite information, but no one had the patience to verify any of it. Everyone had opinions, but almost no one could explain them. Everyone had a voice, but fewer minds. The world kept scrolling, shouting, reacting, not processing, not reflecting, just consuming whatever was placed in front of them. One evening, Arin sat in a cafe watching people argue online about a story that never actually happened. It spread too fast, too emotionally, too perfectly. It didn't matter that it was false. It felt true. And feelings had replaced facts. That was the moment Arin realized something terrifying. People were losing the ability to resist manipulation, not because they were weak, but because they were overwhelmed. Overwhelmed by noise, overwhelmed by speed, overwhelmed by opinions disguised as truth. Thinking takes time, but the modern world punishes slowness. And so, little by little, people outsourced their thinking to influencers, algorithms, headlines, trends, and curated outrage. Arin watched his friends become strangers. Not because they changed, but because they stopped asking their own questions. And he asked himself the one question he feared. Is this how a society collapses? Not with chaos, but with convenience. But the worst part wasn't the death of critical thinking. It was how unnoticed it was. A silent extinction, a slow erosion, a fading muscle no one bothered to exercise anymore. Arin tried to warn people gently. He told them, think for yourself. Pause before reacting. Check the source. Ask who benefits if you believe something. Don't outsource your mind. But people were too tired, too distracted, too overstimulated. So he did the only thing left. He kept thinking anyway. Not to be different, not to be superior, but to stay alive in a world that had forgotten how to understand itself. Because the truth is, society doesn't die when people stop agreeing. It dies when people stop thinking. And in the quiet corners, in late-night walks, in half-read books, in whispered questions, critical thinking survives only in the minds of those willing to resist the comfort of certainty. Arin knew one thing. The death of critical thinking isn't final. Not as long as one person still asks, is this really true?